For viewers across Africa and the rest of the world, this is NC Continental Prime. I am Gbenga Aborowa. We begin in West Africa, where the National Industrial Court has barred the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress from proceeding in any industrial action. The National Industrial Court gave the interim injunction in a suit brought before it by the federal government on Monday. Justice O.Y. Anue, who gave the ruling, also fixed the hearing of the case for June the 19th, 2023. We also understand the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress has met the representatives of the federal government team over the fallout of the petrol subsidy removal. NLC President Joe Ajero and his team arrived at the presidential villa at about 5:45 p.m. local time on Monday. On Sunday, the NLC was absent at the meeting between the government and representatives of organised labour. Representatives of the Trade Union Congress were, however, in attendance. With the recent proclamation on the removal of petrol subsidy by President Bola Tinubu, Nigerians have been hit with a new reality. The cost of petrol has more than doubled, and as a result, so has the cost of living. While the income of most Nigerian workers hasn't significantly increased, questions are now being asked about what the future holds for most workers. News Central's Bernard Akede has more in this report.
The first subsidy is gone.
The removal of fuel subsidy in Nigeria has had a significant impact on the country's workforce and overall productivity. This policy shift, aimed at reducing government spending and promoting market efficiency, triggered a series of effects affecting different sectors of the economy. From rising transportation costs to hikes in prices of essential goods and services, and now Nigerian workers face challenges posed by phasing out of subsidy and declining productivity in the country.
Going from 184 in Lagos to 488 was a shock. It threw people off emotionally, mentally, because the first question is, how in the world am I going to make ends meet, right? And that question rippled across everyone, regardless of your level in the society. Everybody was thinking the same question. The salary that I have been barely managing to make ends meet now has to be stretched even further.
This removal that is causing price hikes most likely will cause another level of inflation. Currently, our inflation is over 22%, if I'm correct. Last time I checked, I think about 22.4%. And we are looking at, this number skyrocketing a bit further.
While the Nigerian Labour Congress has threatened to go on strike if the president's decision is not reversed, others have called for an upward review of the minimum wage. But will either of these, if implemented, make any difference?
Before we actually get there, I think businesses need to look at how to increase their revenue. Because for some organizations are currently struggling, right? So to ask them to increase their wage bill when the revenue is not increasing does not look realistic.
To cushion the effect of the hike in price, employers have been urged to put certain measures into place for their staff as well as for the benefits of the organizations.
So I've heard of companies doing transport adjustments. People are giving increased flexibility. So companies that were working 2 days from the office, from home before, are now working 3 days from home. Companies are closing earlier. So you close maybe at 4, so that if you're driving, you don't have to spend so much time in traffic.
Already we are considering cost of living adjustments, okay? But cost of living adjustments will only make sense if the organization has also increased its earnings.
As Nigerians continue to adjust to what seems to be the new reality, all eyes are on President Tinubu and on how he intends to strike a balance in the face of the evident struggle the masses are passing through and the cost benefits of fuel subsidy removal. Bernard Akede, reporting for News Central.
Now, joining me live to discuss this fuel subsidy removal issue is Kevin Fyneface, public affairs analyst. Warm welcome to you, Kevin, and thanks for joining us on NC Continental Prime.
It's our pleasure. Good evening.
Now, Kevin, Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Now, Kevin, the removal of the fuel subsidy has started having a ripple effect on the Nigerian masses. So what do you think can be the immediate solution? What can the government do to help relieve the impact on the citizens?
And first we need to acknowledge the fact that the government's decision to remove fuel subsidy in the first place is ill-timed. It is expected that before that decision would have been taken, certain palliative measures would have been put in place, knowing that with the kind of country we're in, we oftentimes fall into hyperinflation within the slightest change in government policy or pronouncement by government officials, especially of the high-ranking position. We saw what happened the next day. We saw the price of fuel went up to about 300 and something percent. And that, has its own ripple effects.
Yes.
There's a chain reaction that took place immediately as a result of that announcement the next day. Transport fare increased by 100% in some locations, and some other locations. But one of my staff reported that she had to spend more than 100% on what she normally would spend for her transportation. So she normally would spend about 1,600 coming to work. To account for, but she ended up about 4,200 coming to work. So it means that our salary will take are paid, which is the thing. At the end of the day, the wage bill will be affected. I have to look for ways to increase revenue so as to meeting up with that demand. And so this is just one of the small cases of many cases of many entrepreneurs or other private establishment of businesses. And it's even worse off for government officials that they have not fully enjoyed the salary, and now more than half of their salary is taken away as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy. So the snowballing effect is huge. And so the government decision is in time. So that's why we need to establish that. Of course, there's no need for us to remove subsidy. Of course, there is no need for us to remove subsidy, but it should have been done in a phased approach so as to enable the people to gradually get into that situation.
And adjust accordingly. Now, Kevin, as we speak, the federal government has been meeting with representatives of the Trade Union Congress and the Labour Congress and how to reach a resolution following the fuel subsidy removal. If an agreement is reached, for example, to increase the minimum wage, how would this affect the private sector? Will they be able to, conform?
Well, the private sector will become more like the wage loader, if I must say, which is the fact that if the government reached the agreement to increase the wage, minimum wage, it's wanting to agree. But the reality of that is that such agreement will move water because these workers, need to be transported. If we have a very good, efficient public transport system, private sector will not be that affected. So it means that what we say now, we can take advantage of the public transportation system put in place. But we don't have any of such. So private sector will be badly affected because then it means we'll be forced to increase salary so as to meet up with the expectations of our staff coming on duty. Then also means that everything that has to do with overhead, with the establishment, will be increased by more than 100%.
I'm happy you mentioned that. Apart from increase in salary, what else can corporate organizations do at this time to mitigate the negative effects of the subsidy removal and help their workers deal with the situation?
Well, if you must permit me, there's something oftentimes we say in English. It says, begin with the cry, the serious. We cannot continue to be crying and that nothing is, the government has done wrong. So one of the ways we do, we start doing combined work service, so remote and real time. So you can actually, private sector can ask their staff, those who can work remotely to work remotely, so they don't get to be putting so much pressure on them to come into work and be spending so much money, or except you have to increase it. Other ways to also do that is to see how we begin to find ways to reduce overhead. And how do you do that? It means that some of the things that we decided upon, vehicles not be going out as much as they should be going out as expected. You find different ways with which to solve services that are supposed to be, delegated to other companies that can take care of those services, so as to reduce the wage bill. So logistics services, for instance, the company can be, a subcontractor to a logistic company to manage instead of the company under the such. For security and other factors, we need to start looking forward to have a balance.
Okay.
As mitigating approach in the interim, you can reduce the rate of work time from 5 to 3 days. Instead of 5 days to 3 days, like we saw the Kwara State government.
Yes.
Not laudable, but it doesn't solve the problem. I think they didn't really think, before you dig grave, you start from the head. They didn't really think very well in decision taking to put those measures in place. Now the thinking is that if we go out with the women's subsidy, we can talk to people who can negotiate, organize labor, and government can understand. So we suffer and we smile. With apologies to fellow suffering and smiling.
Okay. Now, Kevin, just quickly, before I let you go, the Nigerian Labour Congress has threatened to go on an industrial strike on a Wednesday, but we've heard that the National Industrial Court has barred the NLC and TUC from going on strike. Now, what do you make of this threat of a strike action? Do you ever see this subsidy removal reversed? And what's your take on the court's judgment?
The reversal of the subsidy removal will be the best that will happen first, and we'll get back to the negotiation table. I doubt if the NLC will obey the court order. There's every likelihood that they might not have seen the judgment, and they might not have seen any judgment. They might not have been served. There's a likelihood because they can decide to evade to be served and go on a strike. That is possible. But if they are served, there's also the chance that they might be contested and find ways to carry out their protest. Because I strongly believe in a strike that should take place in order for the government to reverse our decision to come up to the joint table and make the right decisions first. Put those palliative measures that are required before going on removing first subsidy completely. So we need also begin to ask questions, why are steps not taken to address our refinery situation currently, so as to ensure that those refineries are optimally functioning, so as to be able to give the Nigerian public the right to be able to access this crude that we already have refined.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kevin Fyneface. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thanks for your time and your contribution.
It's my pleasure.